Everybody, welcome back to Women Empowerment Wednesday. Today we have the beautiful Tina. Yes, she has been my tattoo artist for years, and so I hold her very near and dear to my heart. And she does a great job at what she does, and I wanted to highlight her because she's done a lot of different things with her tattoo studio, with herself in general, and just like changing how everything is out here in Northwest Indiana. So, Tina, can you tell everyone who you are and how you got started into tattooing?
My name is Tina. Um, my tattoo journey started 10 years ago, actually. Um, so I first got inspired by tattoos, I would say I was in the Army.
Okay.
I remember growing up with my parents, they were like pretty strict about it and they didn't want me to get any tattoos really. I wouldn't say that my mom hated them, but she was not like
She was
about
against
them.
them.
Yeah. So I never really thought about tattoos as like a career. Um, hence me going into the military.
Right.
So I was literally in the barracks with some of my, I guess we would call them battle buddies, other soldiers. And I noticed like she had really, like one of them, she had really cool tattoos. And so like, I just think like the people that I was around growing up, I didn't really see any art that I was like super inspired by or anything like that. And this was kind of like the first time where I thought like, oh my gosh, like that's beautiful work.
Yeah.
And I was I was always an artist. I grew up drawing just in my free time or just doodling in class and stuff like that. Um, one day when I was in the Army, I was drawing, and one of my peers came by and saw my art, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love your art. Can you help me design my next tattoo?" So in that moment, it was like a light bulb in my head, and I was like, "Wait, if I can help someone design their tattoo, what if I did the tattoo?"
The tattoos. And
Yeah.
you do such an amazing job.
Thank you.
Guys,
Thank
she has
you.
like the softest hands ever, and the work is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And so, how does your mom feel now? Do you have all
Oh my God. So she's fine.
Okay.
But I know every time I get another one, she's like, "Oh my gosh, another one." But it's fine. She doesn't.
Mom.
Yeah, it's mom.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, that was kind of a light bulb for me. And this was actually before I even got a tattoo, I want to say. So I came home and I decided, okay, I think I'm gonna get my first one. So I actually got mom on board with it because I got my first tattoo was in Vietnamese, so it was like basically for our culture.
So she was more like, okay.
Yeah, and then I got like cherry blossoms, and she loves flowers, so I kind of eased her in. Yeah, so she even came with me. I think after that, I think the light bulb was definitely solidified. I was like, okay, this is it. I think this is it.
And it's like your calling, so I absolutely love it for you.
Yeah.
So with tattooing for like the past 10 years, like you said, what were the challenges when you first started?
So I think I can share this with not a majority, but a lot of tattoo artists, especially at the time that I entered the industry. My apprenticeship wasn't like the greatest. So I feel like a lot of artists, I hear that a lot. And that's definitely something I've kept in mind like throughout my entire career. Especially now that I have an apprentice, it's kind of full circle. And I definitely want him to have a way better experience than I did.
Yeah.
So that was probably like my most challenging aspect.
Okay. And what I love about that is like she had an obstacle and then you overcame that. Just like with the apprentice. And I feel like when we are leaders and when we have these businesses, we know how we were treated in the beginning or how people, and it's like we don't want to, continue that cycle.
Yes, break the cycle for sure.
So I'm very proud of you for that.
Thank you.
So what sets you apart from other artists? I already know, but if you want to go tell everybody else.
I would say the one thing that sets me apart, at least locally, a lot of artists don't like to touch on cover-ups. So I find myself doing a lot of them because a lot of times I have my clients that come in asking if I would even do a cover-up, and they've already asked other artists, and a lot of them turn them down because they don't do them. Yeah. So I would say, especially going forward, I'm actually going to be marketing myself a little bit more into just kind of like the cover up queen.
Okay.
You know, just because it's kind of hard to find an artist that will do them.
That's
So
crazy. She did one of my cover ups, guys. It is
I
absolutely
did,
amazing.
yeah.
You did. But that's crazy. They don't do that a lot out here.
I think it's just a little, you know, tattoo artists a
Is it
lot of
like
times.
disrespectful?
I do see that sometimes where an artist doesn't want to touch another artist's work.
Yeah.
I can understand that, but I also respect my client enough to where I know they don't want to go back to that original artist.
Right.
Or there's something there where they were unhappy with the work, so why would they go back?
Exactly.
You know? So, and I don't want to perpetuate them to make them do that.
Yeah,
you know?
and make feel uncomfortable. And
yeah.
Because you didn't do the tattoo that you cover up for me, but I
Right.
had you covered up because
Right.
you're my person. So.
But also, I think some artists prefer like a fresh canvas. You know,
Yeah.
it's a lot less challenging to
I was
have
about
something.
to say it's challenging to
Yeah.
try to cover something up
Yeah.
and make it look right. That makes sense. So what is your favorite tattoo style and why?
I do mainly realism. I would say my realism isn't like hyper realistic.
Okay.
So I would say it's a little bit more like painterly.
Okay.
So I I dabble in a lot of like florals, um, animal portraits. I like doing a lot of like organic things.
Okay. And then even like with your art, and I don't know if other tattoo artists do this, but like you can bring Tina like what you want it to look like, and then you kind of do like a something custom
For sure.
because you don't want to take like someone's
Yeah,
exact art.
yeah.
I don't know if that's like I know that's a respect thing on your end, but I
Yeah.
don't know if other artists do that or if they like try to duplicate.
I would say a majority of artists like to put their own spin on things.
Customize, yeah.
I don't think a lot of us like to just copy things.
Yeah.
I know for me, artist freedom is like pretty important. So
Yeah.
I do prefer that people just kind of like give me an idea of what they want, and then I work with them on like how it'll end up being.
It'll look. Yeah. And I love that. So what's one tattoo you've done that has stuck with you emotionally or artistically?
Actually, it's on my boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
So this was a very fun project for me because this was, from my recollection, maybe the first time I had this situation happen. He basically told me he has this band that he loves, and he wanted to get a tattoo that was inspired by one of their album covers.
Okay.
So he showed me the album cover. I used part of like some elements from the album cover, but then I started talking to him about the songs and like the meaning behind the songs and like what they meant to him. And so, I mean, we probably talked about it and like designed this for like probably 2 hours. But I basically just took his ideas and how he felt about the music and the songs themselves, and just kind of like created this whole design just based on that, instead of like finding like references to like coffee or like find inspiration from. Yeah, it was just all like emotional versus like imagery.
I love that. Okay. So as a tattoo artist, I know that Tina's always booked and busy, like literally always booked. What does a typical day look like for you?
So I typically have one client a day now.
Really?
Sometimes, yeah. So sometimes I will have smaller appointments and I'll do maybe two, but majority of the time I try to book only one client a day. And then so when they come in, I spend roughly 30 minutes to an hour and a half just consulting and designing the tattoo with my client. I don't draw up tattoos prior to the appointment anymore, just so that I can have that like work life or like home life balance. And that was one thing that was really hard for me in the beginning of my career.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
you used to work long hours.
Yes.
It was never just one
No,
client a day. Like,
no.
You were in here working.
Yeah. So yeah, I just one client a day. It's good for me. I can spend like focus my entire attention on my client.
Yes.
So
personal touch, guys. It's important. Okay, so you have made history in Highland because I remember when you first opened up this shop, you were the first tattoo shop in Highland, right?
Yes.
So with that, like, can you just walk us through like everything that you had to do?
So when I first started the journey to open my own studio, I was looking at property because I wanted to buy instead of rent. So I found this property. So I knew from I guess like the political or legal standpoint, there's different zones in cities or towns where businesses can be. So I had to essentially look up online where tattoo shops would fall in this town, and I found on their map that like nowhere was zoned for tattooing. So I thought that was interesting. So I went into their, I guess it would be their town hall, and I asked the building and inspections department if they allowed tattooing. So at that point, that was when I found out that they don't allow tattooing here. So I figured, okay, why don't I, ask the town council if they would allow it? So I did that, and come to find out after that, there was an ordinance. So the reason why they didn't allow tattooing, they had an ordinance in place that was specially worded to deter tattoo artists. It basically said that any tattoo artist had to be a medical doctor. And like that's not a thing, Right. I'm not going to get my doctor. Yeah. Just to open a shop. Yeah. So I went through the hoops. I went to town meetings. I started a petition at the time, and we actually got that ordinance overturned. So they changed that, and then I also huge. So we changed laws, and then they gave me a zoning variance because it's technically still not zoned anywhere. I just have an exception. I love that. That was. That's huge. Yeah, that's like history. You made history in Highland, Northwest Indiana. Like seriously, that's huge. And then you're woman owned. Like that makes it even better. And I'm sure there's like haters out there. And just knowing where you came from, like I'm just so proud of you because this is huge. And the studio, I'm gonna take you guys on a tour, but it looks like a massage parlor. Like it doesn't look like your regular it's a spa shop. Yeah. Right. It looks like a spa. Okay, so let me get back. Okay. So being young and being a minority in a male dominated industry, do you feel like you have to prove yourself more? I feel like I felt that way in the beginning. Okay. Because I was actually the first shop that I was in, it was owned by a man. Second shop that I was in owned by a man. Well, actually, okay, so all the shops besides this one, they were all owned by men. Right. But so throughout the beginning of my career, I was basically surrounded by men. But it wasn't until like probably the second half of my 10-year career that I found that I didn't need to prove myself. It was just more so like proving myself to myself. To yourself. Yeah. Much, so your art is there. Like so I didn't like I had to take gender out of it, Yeah. So I just kind of like just did the thing. Yeah. I just kept my head down. I just kept working. I just worked. I didn't really care about the extracurriculars or anything like that, No, and so I believe I've been to both the shops that you were at before you got to this one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Hey guys, welcome back to Women Empowerment Wednesday. So we are sitting here in a different spot in different clothes because as life would have it, technology sometimes does not work. And so half the interview did get chopped off, but we're here. Tina forgave me and allowed me to come back in her space to finish this interview, so thank you so much. So the first question I want to ask is, what did it feel like the moment you realized that your shop was actually becoming successful? It was a huge relief. They say the first couple years are the hardest of starting a business. Mm-hmm. So kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and the progress, it was just super relieving to know that we're on an uphill trend and not, stagnant or a downhill trend. Or it was too much for me or anything like that. So knowing that it's possible and that I could do it was just the most relieving thing.
And it's beautiful. Every time I come in here, I gave a little quick tour or whatever, but you have to stop by. It is beautiful. And again, just to see where you were and where you are to now, like, this is the most luxurious tattoo studio that I've ever been in my entire life. Like, it's like, it should be in downtown Chicago off the lakefront, like luxury. Like, it's just beautiful. I love it. So what does it mean to you to be a woman and a minority owning a tattoo studio and it's thriving?
It's super empowering, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's just crazy to know that the industry was super male dominated years ago, and there's a huge shift happening within the past decade of just more women tattooers, piercers. The industry is just thriving with us in it, you know?
And I love that. So do you feel like you're opening doors and inspiring other women who want to get into the industry?
I would say so.
Okay.
I know a lot of people, actually, it happened recently. Someone stopped me. I was waiting to get my hair done, and we got to chit-chatting while we were waiting, and she realized that I owned this studio, and she literally said, "Girl, you made history," you know, and it's just very inspiring to hear that from someone I've never met, you know? So I could only imagine that it would possibly inspire someone to want to start.
Yeah, it's like you're a celebrity. Hey, no. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to become an artist, but they feel like a little intimidated?
Just do it, you know? Fear is the only thing that's holding us back. Honestly, fake it until you make it. You know, you gotta have that confidence. You can't be extremely timid. You just have to do the thing. So that's my biggest advice. Literally, just do it. Just do it.
So just do it. If you guys are scared, just do it. If you're like anxious, just do it. Because at the end of the day, like, you won't know how successful you could be until you just throw yourself out there. Okay, so you recently became a mommy. Yes. So how do you feel like that's changed you professionally?
Professionally, it has driven me to be clearer with my boundaries.
Okay.
I want to maintain a good work-life balance. I want to be home for her, but also maintain the business and everything like that. So I just have to make sure I'm not spreading myself too thin. And I I make sure that I'm there for everyone, but not overextending myself at the same time.
And that makes sense. And that was kind of going into my next question. What is like the biggest challenge of trying to balance motherhood and the business?
I would just say being present. Being present at home, being present here. I just have to work with what I have laid out in front of me. So luckily, my fiance is at home as the stay-at-home parent. So I know everything's taken care of at home, so I don't have to worry and like micromanage or anything like that. And then here, I trust everyone here to run everything if I'm not here. So if I'm at home, I don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, is the business running while I'm not there. So I just take care of everything that's like right in front of me. Obviously, there are things that I have to do, like business-wise at home, but I set aside some time for that. Typically on like Mondays. But I get what needs to be done. I don't try to go down the rabbit hole and do too much. I just do what I need to do.
And I feel like with being a business owner and a mom, like that's kind of hard to not take work home, because that's something like I'm struggling with. Like, all right, this is my shut off time. Like, Victoria, not doing anything else for the night. Spend time with Caleb, and I think it's really hard. But I'm happy that you have that support system and that team, because that's huge. And not do it by yourself. Because again, I feel like I'm in a transition period now where it's like now I have to build a team because I can't carry this momentum on my own. And so you have like a trusted partner, a trusted team here. So that's beautiful, and I love that. So what keeps you motivated?
Just knowing that so many people rely on me to keep things going and keep things afloat. You know, like my whole team here depends on this place. So I have to make sure it's doing well and thriving. My family at home depends on me to support us. So it's just, I have motivators that keep me going.
Yes. And so then what's something everybody would be surprised to learn about you outside of tattooing?
Actually, a lot of people do get surprised when I tell them that I'm a veteran.
Okay.
So that's one big thing. Other than that, I don't know. I'm kind of just a homebody, and I'm kind of boring. So like, I mean, I feel like I'm boring. So yeah, it's just not too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough for Tina.
Yeah.
Enough for the family. Look, and I love that. So if you can describe your current chapter right now, what would it be and why?
I guess it would be kind of like the rise or the climb. I'm still in the climbing stage of the business,
Okay.
so it's still establishing. Not everyone knows we're tucked back here.
Yeah.
So it's just becoming more established and just riding that climb up of success.
Okay. And you guys are doing an amazing job.
Yes, we're doing great.
And again, whatever help you need, like send me whatever post. I talk about this place all the time. I just made a post on my story. Like, I love it here. So what's next for you? Any like goals, expansions, events coming up?
Not gonna lie. I'm actually working on becoming semi-retired next year from tattooing.
Oh my god!
I know that changed since the last time I saw you.
Look, I'm gonna cry. Like, how much is semi?
Okay, so I feel like it hasn't been like a well-kept secret. I'm open about it, but I have a lot of ailments. You know, so like my back has been pretty bad.
Still?
Yeah. So like it all started when I enlisted in the military. So like, it's all been kind of just progressive.
Yeah.
And I honestly cannot even work like 4 days anymore. It's been really hard. So yeah. So I think I'm gonna possibly semi-retire next year and go down to like part-time and just tattoo maybe 2 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because I know like at first it was your wrist, but your back too.
My back has always been bad.
Okay.
But it's like it used to be manageable, and now it's like getting really bad.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
I understand.
But I don't, you know, like with me having more time since I won't be tattooing, I'm sure there will be other ventures because I'm a busybody.
Right, you are. You're just like me. Like you always have to do something.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so where can people find you to support you, support your studio, your artists?
Instagram, Facebook are our main two social media platforms. And of course, we're here in Highland, so stopping on by will help a lot. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry we had to double back, but I
you're
appreciate
fine.
that you
I
did
don't
this.
mind.
She has a beautiful Photoshop space, so. But thank you again. I'm so proud of you. I tell you all the time, but I seriously mean it. Like again, you're like a celebrity. You have you've made history in Highland, and you know we talked about that earlier in the interview. And you're doing a lot of great things, not only for yourself, but for your baby, your family, for the world. So I appreciate you.